The donkey who had 10 years. Welcome to the story room. This month we are traveling to Uzbekistan, a place filled with stories, characters, and a particular kind of cleverness that doesn't always look like cleverness at first. Some stories teach you through wisdom, some through tragedy, and some through a man, a donkey, and a remarkably optimistic interpretation of the future. This is a story of Nasriddin Afandi and the donkey who had 10 years. There are people who solve problems by planning carefully. There are people who solve them by working very hard. And then there was Nasriddin Afandi. Afandi was famous for being clever or foolish, depending on who was telling the story. He had a particular talent for getting himself into situations that looked impossible and then finding a way out through nothing more than a straight face and a very inconvenient understanding of logic. One day, Afandi made a rather extraordinary claim. He said he could teach a donkey to speak. Now, this might have been an excellent thing to keep to himself. Unfortunately, someone hurt him. And that someone happened to know the emir. Before long, Afandi found himself standing in front of the ruler. The emir looked at him. "You say you can teach a donkey to speak?" Afandi nodded. "I can." The emir was not known for his patience. "Then you will teach mine." Afandi looked at the donkey. The donkey looked back at Afandi. Neither appeared particularly concerned about the arrangement. "There is one small problem," Afandi said. "What problem?" "It will take time." "How much?" Afandi thought carefully. "1 year." The emir laughed. "1 year?" "No," said Afandi. "I have reconsidered. 10 years." The emir frowned. 10 years to teach a donkey to speak? "It's a difficult language," Afandi explained. The emir considered this. Perhaps Afandi was a fool. Perhaps he was a genius. Perhaps he was simply trying to escape. But there was something entertaining about this whole thing. "Very well," said Emir. "You have 10 years. Then he named a generous payment. Afandi accepted. And then came the part that mattered. "If the donkey cannot speak after 10 years," said Emir, "you will answer for it with your life." Afandi agreed. He took the money. He took the donkey. And he went home. His wife was waiting for him. He looked at the money, and then the donkey, then back at Afandi. "What have you done?" Afandi explained. She stared at him. "You told Emir you can teach a donkey to speak?" "Yes." "You cannot teach a donkey to speak." "I know." "You have 10 years." "Yes." "And if the donkey doesn't speak, the Emir will kill you?" "Yes." His wife was understandably less impressed by his cleverness than he had hoped. "But Afandi," she said, "what are you going to do?" Afandi looked at the donkey. The donkey looked back. The Afandi smiled. "Why are you worried? I have 10 years." His wife still looked unconvinced. Afandi continued. "In 10 years, the Emir may die," he paused. "Or the donkey may die." Another pause. "Or perhaps I will die." He shrugged. "Or perhaps," he looked at the donkey again, "the donkey will actually learn how to speak." And with that, Afandi went inside with his money. Now, obviously, Afandi had not suddenly discovered the secret to teaching donkeys human speech. That wasn't really the point. The trick was that he had turned an immediate impossible problem into a distant, uncertain one. The emir wanted certainty. Afandi gave him 10 years. The emir wanted a guarantee. Afandi gave him a promise involving a donkey. And Afandi needed money. He got that too. Perhaps this is why Nasriddin Afandi survived so well in stories. He doesn't always win because he's stronger. He doesn't necessarily know more than everyone else. Sometimes he wins because he notices something everyone else has forgotten. The future is full of possibilities. And sometimes the cleverest way out of trouble is simply to make the trouble wait. Of course, there is another possibility. Maybe Afandi really did know how to teach a donkey to speak. We will never know. After all, he had 10 years. And perhaps that was Afandi's real talent. Not knowing what would happen. Knowing that he didn't have to know yet. 10 years is a very long time when you are standing in front of a problem. And the future has a funny habit of arriving with possibilities we couldn't have imagined from where we are standing. Maybe the problem will change. Maybe we will change. Maybe something completely unexpected will happen. Or maybe somehow the donkey really will learn how to speak. We simply don't know yet. And sometimes, perhaps, that's enough. Thank you for stepping into the story room with me. Until next time, keep a little room for the unexpected.